Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Holistic Nootropics YouTube channel. My name's Eric, the Holistic A-Hole, and here on the Holistic Nootropics YouTube channel, we're here to help you use nootropics, nutrition, and biohacking to really hack the power of your mind and help you elevate to the best you. What I'm finding is that people are taking an outrageous amount of nootropics and supplements and vitamins, and, looking from afar, I really can't say if it's necessary or not. At some point, if you're taking a lot of stuff, it means that something isn't working. You shouldn't have to take so much stuff just to get to a baseline level of optimized brain. Because really it comes down to what are you trying to achieve? Are you trying to overcome something? Are you trying to overcompensate for something? Are you digging out of like a deficit? Like, are you dealing with mental health issues like depression or anxiety? Are you trying to get this superhuman level of mind and have like a photographic memory or something? Or are you trying to cure ADHD and focus harder? Because nootropics are good for those sorts of things, but they're only so good up to a point. They can only do so much, and you really have to do the heavy lifting on like yourself. And that's like why I'm here. That's why this channel and this website exists. I see the amount of things people are taking, and it's nuts. You shouldn't have to take so much stuff to achieve a goal. I find that sometimes what you get in the nootropics community is you get people taking like a pharmaceutical approach to natural substances, and natural substances are not meant to elicit a pharmacological response. Now, there are powerful nootropics that are capable of doing some really amazing things, but if you're looking for a buzz, like, you can't take a nootropic and feel a buzz. You can't take lion's mane and feel like, damn, dude, I'm floating, bro. I'm like, whoa. You're not gonna feel like that. You can't take ashwagandha and feel like, bro, I'm like, whoa, I'm feeling it. That's not what these things do. They kind of work under the surface. And so, that's why when you take something, when you change your routine, when you change your protocol, when you switch up your stack, whatever it is, it takes weeks and months to actually notice the results. It's like, if you're feeling a buzz from your nootropics, then you're probably taking too much. Then you're probably drawing a lot of energy out from somewhere else. You're paying for it on the back end, whether it's with like mood or brain fog or with lack of sleep. You shouldn't be taking, and I shouldn't tell you what you should or shouldn't do, but it really isn't necessary to take so many things, so like, where do you go from there? I know for me right now, I'm in kind of like a transition place, where I'm really reevaluating the nootropics and the supplements that I'm taking, because I shouldn't say for a long time, but for really maybe the last 1.5 to 2 years, I've been taking more supplements than I used to take before I started taking supplements. I've only been taking supplements for a couple of years consistently. For a long time I didn't take anything, and then I dove headfirst into supplements and nootropics even before I knew these things were nootropics. And what I find is that my body doesn't react well when I take too much stuff. So I'm kind of pulling the reins back a little bit, and it's hard to say if I feel better or not. What I think the most important thing to do is to implement a tracking system. And I think a lot of people in the biohacking space, this is a blind spot, is actually tracking. You have to actually be able to successfully track, like, how well are things working for you. So, for me, for instance, is why I wear an Oura ring. I wear an Oura ring because it tracks my sleep, it tracks my heart rate, it tracks my heart rate variability. I can know if my body at night is dipping into deep sleep or REM sleep, or if I'm getting light sleep, or if I'm waking up a lot. I can see what my heart rate is, because really your sleep time is a reflection of the things you do during the day. So, for instance, if I drink during the day, if I drink some alcohol, even a beer, my deep sleep, when I go to sleep, is trash. It's garbage. My heart rate goes up anywhere between 10 to 15 beats per minute. My heart rate variability goes down. You can tell my body is genuinely struggling with something. So I've used the Oura Ring to really kind of hone in on these things that are... People are shooting gunshots outside my window. It's frightening. I use the Oura Ring to track what the things I do during the day, how they're affecting me at night, how it's affecting my subconscious. And the Oura Ring is pretty legit. Like, I know when I wake up in the morning, if I'm a little brain foggy, my Oura score is going to be low. And sometimes I'll wake up in the morning and I feel like a hot knife through butter, and my Oura scores are great. So, this is one way I track. Another way you can track is with like a food and mood journal. So with all of this talk about nootropics, people forget about nutrition. People forget about like the basics of nutrition. You can't be the McDonald's and Diet Coke guy or girl. You can't go to McDonald's, order a Big Mac, fries, and a Diet Coke because you're watching your figure or whatever. You have to really keep track of the foods you eat. You don't want to be eating like Chinese takeout 4 or 5 times a week, eating Lucky Charms in the morning for breakfast, having a toaster strudel in the afternoon with like a bologna sandwich at night, and then for dinner you eat ice cream, and then you're taking like $50 worth of supplements every week because the supplements aren't going to do anything. They're not going to compensate for how much toxicity you're putting into your body. And this doesn't mean that you need to start just going out and eating salads, right? You have to really figure out what foods do to you. So this is why I love doing a food and mood journal. You eat food and then, you track throughout the day, how do you feel? You'll know like, hey, like for breakfast, I had a cup of coffee and a like an oat bran muffin. Is that a thing? Oat bran muffins? I had a cinnamon raisin muffin. I had a freaking muffin of some sort. And then about 11 o'clock, I started to feel sleepy, or I started to feel anxious, or I started to feel depressed, or I started to feel great. When you do a couple days like that, you can always look back on that journal and go, oh, okay, I'm seeing now the connection between what I have for breakfast and my anxiety, right? And my depression and my fatigue or my ADHD. Why do I have such a hard time focusing? Well, I don't know. I start every day off with a bowl of cornflakes. And then when you look at the box of cornflakes, you can see all the ingredients that go into cornflakes. And somewhere in those ingredients is probably at least one thing that you're reacting negatively to. Because a lot of these, especially boxed food items, come with a lot of bullshit that your body just doesn't do well with. It could be anything from corn or soy or wheat to, one of the many filler or preservative ingredients that go in these things that can cause a general level of toxicity in the body. So, when it comes to nootropics, it's not just as easy as saying, hey, take some rhodiola, or take some alpha GPC, or take some phosphatidylserine, and you'll just start feeling great. Because if you got all these other underlying issues with toxicity, well, you have to really address that stuff first. And then when you address that stuff, then you throw on the nootropics. And then when you throw on the nootropics, it's like, this is where things start happening. And they're not going to start happening immediately. That's the big thing, right? You have to allow yourself, again, like a couple months to allow yourself to progress through this, and then see the changes by looking back. That's the other thing too. We live in a very fast-paced society where, it's hard to remember like what you were like even a month ago. For me, it's hard to remember what I was like even a week ago. Things change so quickly in my own life. So, you have to keep track of these things. You have to journal. And I don't mean like to sit down by a fire with a pipe and, with a glass of Cavassier or whatever. Like, you have to journal, and you have to just do it quick. You have to keep yourself, make it a system, just write down, hey, for breakfast, I had a bowl of cereal. I had a cup of coffee. I had a cup of orange juice. For lunch, I had a bologna sandwich. I had a power bar. For dinner, I had, a steak, whatever it is. And then you have to put like, how did you feel, right? And then you put on top of that your digestion. So, did you poop during the day? Was it good? Was it, there's a poop scale. It's called the Bristol Stool Chart, and you can look it up online. The Bristol Stool Chart. I might even put a link to it in the description somewhere. But you go online, you find that Bristol Stool Chart, and then you can match up and see, like, where are you on the Bristol Stool Chart. And if you're one of those, like, bad Bristol stools, like the leaky ones, the kind of watery ones, the not so full ones, means something's going on with your digestion. And if there's something going on with your digestion, then there's something going on with your brain, most likely, because the gut brain, they're connected. So there's a lot to unpack with all that, but that's why we're going to make more videos about that stuff, and there's more videos coming with all these things. So let me know what your nootropics journey is like down in the comments. Are you new? Are you experienced? Do you like to use a lot of stuff? Are you trying to switch things up? Let me know what you think. Also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Check out holisticnootropics.com for more info, and I'll catch you on the next video.